I'm not a stranger to challenges to community civility, but not in Tacoma.
That was a neighborhood that my family had lived in since the 1880s.
The pictures that come to my mind around that time was a community that was feeling a lot of uncertainty.
This is my home.
Fast money,
drugs,
drive-by shootings,
dealers,
gangs,
the ignorance.
crack.
I think it stinks.
This is my street.
And it was very scary.
There were drive-by shootings.
And the gangs and the drugs.
Specifically crack.
Rival gangs was showing up at the schools.
How did we slip so far so fast?
This is not what we are about. This is not Tacoma. It was a scary situation that one of our neighborhoods could all of a sudden flip like that.
Suddenly we had Crips and Bloods from Oakland, from Compton, from LA, coming up here and competing in the drug trade and shooting people.
I was driving down Pacific Avenue and there were Jersey barriers on the street to stop drive-by drug sales in the middle of town. I had lived here since 1967. I hadn't seen anything like that.
You know, instead of being able to focus on school and things like that, we had to focus on surviving. And it just wasn't one side of town, it was throughout Tacoma.
The community conversation was one about fear and loss of control.
Somebody's got to do something. We couldn't just say the cops ought to do it or the schools ought to do it. What could we do? And that led to the idea of forming a group.
Problems of this nature shouldn't be just left up to government.
And that's when the group said, well, let's invite the community.
That took us all to Foss High School, where the bubble of anticipation spread.
The Foss High School gathering was an incredible exercise in collaboration.
I thought if we got 350, 400 people, we'd be in good shape.
Well, they filled the entire gymnasium at Foss.
We thought, holy everybody's here. It was a lot of people.
People really wanted to talk about it and wanted to do something about it.
There weren't people who came to be consumers. There were people who came to engage, who said, I've had enough of whatever they had enough of.
And it was so positive. It was, people were like, yes, we have something to say.
Anybody who came felt that they had been listened to, it had been written down, and those were all chronicled into a smashing of ideas.
It was very engaging and encouraging. I thought it possible to come up with a shared solution.
That meeting, I remember that clearly, just feeling like I could be a part of this and I could actually leave my past behind and move forward.
I saw a sense of hope because I saw a microcosm of Tacoma there in that room, willing to roll up their sleeves and go to work and figure out what we needed to do to take back our city and clean it up.
It's about getting your community together.
Positive change.
I love this town.
I think Safe Streets is the greatest thing that could happen to any community.
Our streets.
Safe Streets.
There was a lot of graffiti in town, and the police were very clear that the graffiti was the billboard for the gangs.
What we thought is if we could paint over the graffiti, people would see something was being done. There was a visual sense of, holy cow, somebody is trying to tackle this.
Getting those paint cans out there and the cops sitting there driving up and down the street making sure that everybody was safe.
And that led to us organizing a major graffiti removal effort. And then people started calling and saying, what can I do to help?
People can get engaged in their own communities. It's not about what Safe Streets does, it's what Safe Streets provides to enable community engagement, which is the whole solution for neighborhoods and a larger community. I was afraid that after we got a lot of groups organized and problems went down, that we started, actually solving some of the problems in neighborhoods, that people would just go home and forget about it.
We have to stay on it. You can't solve it and then say we no longer have that problem, because those things come back.
The need for the community to be organized and to come together has not lessened.
By cleaning up the streets, by providing safe parks, safer schools, mobilizing parents, making them feel more secure, you allow for a more nurturing environment for kids.
They have so much in front of them, and they need some support and guidance.
I see a lot of kids going through a lot of depression throughout the stages because they feel as if there's not somebody there that will actually listen to them, take time to listen to what's going on with them and letting them speak out about things.
Our youth program focuses on helping young people to learn those leadership skills to be able to bring themselves to the table, bring their voice, articulate their position, and then care about changing the way things are done in the community so it will be more beneficial to everybody in the long run.
My freshman and sophomore year, I didn't do anything good. I tried to act out, fight, cuss teachers out, flip things over, talk back. My first meeting with YLC was really odd, listening to people tell their stories, and as time went by, I kind of got used to it and started acting just like those kids. It landed me in the spot of being president of YLC this year. I accomplished a lot of things. I accomplished and learned that I'm able to speak in front of people and give my opinions without doing it in a rude manner. And I learned that I can work with other people and be successful instead of pushing people out and trying to do everything on my own, trying to be independent. You have a chance to change yourself, but if you don't take that chance and opportunity, then you won't be anything.
The youth program should be in every school. Safe Streets is so important and so critical to Pierce County and how it's been shaped and formed. I think a Safe Streets block group should be in every community.
It's knowing that you have support, you have resources, that you're not out there alone.
Ultimately, they were the catalyst for us to get to know our neighbors better. So they've done a tremendous amount because we have a community now, and we have a safe community.
Once Safe Streets came in, it helped us to be more organized.
It's a collective community response. So by having regular meetings, we have an opportunity to hear people from the community speak about what's going on.
We did have a problem for a while, the little park over here by the church. People were hanging out there, and it was creating a trash problem. And then we started seeing some drug activity, but that got cleaned up. We just keep working on it and figure it out, and it might be something that's out of the box, but we find something that works.
I had no idea the amount of resources available, like paint to cover up graffiti is available to you. Who knew that?
Just because things ain't quite the same as they used to be, well, we shift and shape to what's going on in society. And Safe Streets is there to help guide through the rough times and the obstacles that may occur.
The solution is to come together as a community and pay attention to things and do activities that promote community.
You just feel safer in your community, and you feel like you are just excited to go on walks and just see that, people again are taking pride in the place that they live.
Safe Streets says we're good enough, we're smart enough, we're strong enough, we have the resources to make this community the kind of community we want to have. I think that's our legacy. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things.